good to see another badge.
Let me know if I can help you.
You're out there a lot, right? In space?
Just give us all
The Trade Authority has a... Be my guest.
Spacers.
If you need anything else,
Galaxy.
you know where to find it.
Do your part to keep Sidonia and Rafiki free.
Red and orange. Everything's red and orange.
Do you want to hear the song I just made up?
I'm a bunny, you're a bunny, he's a bunny. Ha! That's so weird.
When I get older, I'm gonna work in the mines, like my dad did. So I can save up and buy my mom a house somewhere nice.
Oh, you're, back because you found the next book? Right? Right? Yeah, I hope so. Okay. I guess it's the least I could do for making you go out of your way to find it for me. I'm giving you my other copy of this book because everyone should read Dragon Star Force once in their life. Enjoy. There are worse ways to live. I got my movies, my games. Oh, track down another volume of Dragon Star Force. I'd definitely appreciate it if you could help me out again. Oh, this means a lot to me.
Pilot, this is Jiro Sugiyama, head of Paradiso Security. I apologize for coming over this emergency channel, but we are in need of assistance concerning the large ship in orbit, and we value discretion in this matter. If you are willing and able, please see me as soon as possible at the main security office in Paradiso. Over and out.
Landing initiated. Watch the bearing.
Good day, Captain.
Welcome back, Mr. Tofik. I am aware that this is your...
I'm here to help if you need it.
You'd think we'd be a prime target for pirates, but they know to stay away for the most part.
Oh, hey, a customer. Welcome to Paradiso gift shop and convenience. Feel free to look around, but don't break anything or you've got to buy it. And before you ask, there aren't any discounts, so don't even try to haggle with me. No. Ugh. You people always think that just because we're some French planet and not part of the free stars or whatever, that we're happy to haggle for everything. I wouldn't even care, honestly. But I take it out of my pay if any money's missing, so no discount. Why would I? I have to sell overpriced crap to rude, obnoxious tourists all day. My uncle works for the Paradiso board. When he said he could get me a job here, I expected an executive level job, not this. But it's not all bad. I don't have to worry about getting fired, and I live in Paradiso for free. Now, can I get you something, or are you going to keep asking questions about my life? Looking for... Okay. Thanks for shopping.
Sidonia's not so bad. Honest work. You look like you need a hug. I like hugs. Not from strangers. Not a lot of kids here. Sometimes you've got to make your own fun.
Oh, you're, back. Look, I'd like to help. I'm still with... okay. I guess it's the least I could do for making you go out of your way to find it for me. Now that I got that first edition, here's my other copy of the book for you to read. Thanks again. Just taking things day by day, you know? Ooh, yeah. I'm probably not the best person to ask about this. I mostly stay inside. Watch movies, read books, and hang out with my friends. But there's a couple of bars around here. One's for the mine workers and one for everyone. Some people like hiking around Mars. It's a cool planet for that, I hear. People just kind of make their own fun here. New Atlantis, this ain't. What's that supposed to mean? But just because I look like I couldn't bench press a stick of raw spaghetti, I don't fit in here? Nah, just kidding. I got some issues that prevent me from working, and modern medicine could only help so much. I was offered an experimental treatment, and unfortunately, instead of getting cool superpowers, I got more medical conditions. But it's okay. They offered me this condo and set me up with enough money to get by without working. I live pretty well, all things considered. Bored? Are you kidding me? I got more entertainment at my fingertips than I'll ever finish, even if it takes forever to get to Sidonia. I don't think I'll ever be bored, and I'm certainly not going to waste my life working if I don't have to. I try not to let it get me down. Right now, I'm just focused on living the best life possible. I may have been dealt a shit hand of cards, but I decided to say, screw that! I'm gonna play however I want instead. Though some things would be easier if I wasn't bound to my home. Well, I don't have the kind of money to pick up and leave. And otherwise, I kind of like it in Sidonia. My friends live here. Yeah, I get some credits every month, but I'm no millionaire. Besides, I share my money. I blow it all on games, movies, comics, books, and other stuff for me and my friends. I feel like it's better to spend it now. Create good memories for us. Yeah, thanks. You too. Nice to have visitors. Oh, there was this live-action movie adaptation of an old animated show. Oh, it was so bad. My friends and I almost died laughing. We had to stop like 3 times just to catch our breath. Oh, track down another volume of Dragon Star Force. I'd definitely appreciate it if you could help me out again. I appreciate it. I'll be...
Look alive! Welcome to UC Space. Maintain your current course while we scan your ship's cargo. Be advised, you have been identified as respond immediately or we will be forced to open fire.
guess you weren't needing a shield, right?
They've overloaded our jumper.
Just passing through, or into that.
Miners pretty much.
Growing up in Sidonia, you gotta be tough.
Oh, you're, back. Huh. Sorry, there's nothing. I'm glad you. I already made you. No, you. Now that I got that first. Did you know they filmed one of my things? Ooh, but there's some people like hike. What's that supposed to mean? Nah, I was offered it, but it's okay. I don't think I'll ever. I try not to let it get. I may have been though. No. Well, yeah, I get some. Besides, I share my. I feel like it's. Yeah, thanks. Wish I could remember. Oh, there was this live. Have you seen the new Norvici movie? Oh, yeah. I appreciate it.
If there's something you need, no matter what it is. Of course, of course. The Trade Authority appreciates your...
Careful down near the mines and enter any active sites at your own risk. Most visitors can't wait to get off this line.
All those sad people out there. I wish my mom weren't so sad all the time.
Oh, you're back because you found the next book, right? Right? You think that means? No. Now that I got the...
I'm Renee, and I'm so bored. My mom and dad say not to talk to people I don't know, so I thought maybe I could talk to you, and then I know you, and I won't be so bored. Not sure exactly what you mean by that, but trust me, I've thought about this lots, and it should be okay. Besides, now we're already talking, and it's too late not to. Anyway, what do you want to talk about? It's okay, I guess. It's better than living outside, because Mars can't support life outside and I'd die. But maybe it would be nice to live on another planet someday. I think I used to when I was a real little kid. And sometimes my mom and dad would take me to visit my grandma and grandpa in New Atlantis. Not really. I mean, there's Taye. He's a good friend. But he's also one of my only friends. There aren't many kids on Mars, because my mom says that this is really only a place where people come to work hard jobs for a little while. But I wish there were more kids, because it gets boring, like when Taye is busy and my mom and dad are off working. I like to play with Taye sometimes. We come up with lots of games to play. Sometimes we listen to music or watch shows. But when he's not around, I like to draw. Sometimes I draw things and give them to people since they're so mopey all the time. It makes them smile. Actually, want to help me? I just drew these great pictures of Space Frog, but I can't go out right now. Can you help put them up for me? Yeah, they've let me do it before. But they're working, so they can't help me do it, and they don't let me leave the condos without them. They say it's for my safety, but my friend Taya's mom sometimes lets him go out without her. I don't know. My mom says it does. She says her work friends like my drawings because they make them smile. She says it's because there aren't many kids here, and lots of people miss having kids around. Or it reminds them of their families. It's Space Frog from outer space, and he's a little frog character that I made up. I've never seen a real frog before, but I've seen pictures. Anyway, he lives in space and goes around to different planets helping people who are sad or need help. He's great. You will? Thank you, thank you, thank you! People are gonna be so happy. Here's a bunch of copies of the Space Frog drawing I made. You can post them in places where you think people will see them. Thank you so much!
A reminder that Bring Your Child to Work Day is not an officially sanctioned holiday, and that it is not advised to allow children into potentially dangerous work sites. Keep our children safe. Keep them out of Thank you from the Sidonia Department of Labor.
Just put the pictures up where you think lots of people are going to see them.
Subterranean particle detonation imminent. Be advised to secure loose articles and find stable ground or remain seated in the event of unforeseen tremors. Detonation occurs in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Sometimes I wish I'd taken an easier drop.
Faith in God is what brought us to this house.
It's hard not to worry when your spouse is the one doing it.
Is Mars treating you well?
How cool is it going to be to see Space Frog every... Hi! Thanks for doing that for me. I wish I could do it myself, but having a friendly adult help me is almost as good. Okay. I was gonna give you something anyway. Here you go. But maybe next time you should do it because you like helping people. Thanks, I guess. Mars is so boring sometimes. I think they'll really like them. I mean, come on, you've seen Space Frog. He's so cute! Maybe this time, people will like my drawings so much that no one will take them down. Maybe they'll be up forever. And ever. And ever. Oh my gosh, what if they're there forever and people like him so much, they make him a real Space Frog cartoon? Or like, toys for kids to play with. Or both. Bye!
Yes? You needed something?
Starting landing procedure. How you doing, Sir
You know me so well, Dad. So, what do you say?
How can I be of service, Captain?
You look like you need something, yeah?
I help out. It's a quaint shop, is it? Ah, excellent. I see you've held up your end of the bargain. So, I'll do the same. Salinas Hardware is now open for business. Feel free to come around and peruse my wares anytime. Don't mind me? Okay then. Thank you for retrieving that package for me. Salinas Hardware, let's keep...
Is there a type of weapon combat tech?
Telling you, Bianchi, something's wrong with the boots you sold me. I wear them to the metro. Suddenly, the shuttle runs late. I buy a cup of coffee, and the barista screws up my order. It's like I'm walking under ladders with a broken mirror in my pocket. And the only time it happens is when I'm wearing your boots.
So, what do you want me to do about it?
I want a damn refund!
Fine, fine. I'll take the boots back. Just don't tell anyone you bought them from here.
You won't find anything at Enric's. That place is where good selection goes to die.
Personally, I think Daylight's overrated. Ugh, right. The boots. I hate to admit it, but she has a point. She's the third customer to return the pair, all for the same reason. The boots might really be cursed. I thought about it once, but then I thought better of it. Best not to tempt fate. And besides, they're not my size. And risk releasing whatever is inside them? I've seen enough horror vids to know how this goes. Like most of my supply from one of my UC contacts. But after the second customer returned the boots, I got curious and I did some digging. Turns out they were seized from a House of Arun ship. That alone is enough to convince me something's amiss. I don't doubt it. Either way, it's bad for business. Hey, you're a pilot, right? Maybe you can do me a favor. I've heard of a UC station at the far end of the galaxy called the Den. You go there and stash these boots in a crate, and I'll give you credits as a compensation. Believe it or not, I actually tried that. And do you know what happened? Some UC pilot picked up the cargo and somehow it found its way back to my store. No, I want the boots gone. But I also want to know exactly where they are. Finally, someone to give these blasted boots the boot, if you pardon the expression. Here, I'll have your credits for you when the job is done.
Den to approaching vessel. Docking approved.
Docking procedure is complete.
How about my foot? You have a nice day now. That a big enough scoop for you?
Hey, newbie. It's a nice set of boots you got there. They for sale? I'll give you, say, 500 credits for them. They'd look better on me anyway.
Guess that's true, but if so, you're just as stuck out here as I am. So what does that say? Oh, wow.
Nothing. I just want yours. Great. I've been wanting a pair like that. Looks just my size, too. To be honest, I might have gone as high as $2,000. I'm not saying I ripped you off, but I'm sure as hell thinking it.
That means you're around these people all day.
This is UC Security. Prepare to be scanned for contraband. We say again, respond immediately, or we will be forced to. I've got special orders. You're coming with me. Stand down and prepare for immediate transport to our vessel. We have orders to transport you and your vessel to your final destination, the UC Vigilance. Any deviation from those orders on your part will be considered an act of hostility, and will be met with aggressive force. I've been authorized to inform you that you're being transferred to the UC Vigilance. Other than that, I'm not a... Smart decision. Stand by to be boarded and transferred.
I'm telling you, the commander's got plans for this loser. Why else would he be going through all this trouble? I still don't understand why he trusts a criminal. Seems like too much of a risk. Stop worrying and keep an eye on our guest. I'll be right back. You just sit tight. Commander wants to have a little chat. The prisoner's ready, sir. I hope you're comfortable. We have a lot to discuss. I'm your ticket out of the mess you've gotten yourself into. That's all you need to know for now. Not this time. So, let me see what we're working with here. It appears that you have a background in cyber running. Perfect. Information gathering is one of our top priorities around here. I also see that you mined on Vectera, and now you're with Constellation. You've certainly been quite busy. Oh, and look at that. Right at the bottom of this list is the criminal incident that landed you in my crosshairs. You're absolutely right. Well, I'll have my people get right on that. Now that we have that out of the way, let me introduce myself. My name is Commander Kibwe Ikande, and I'm in charge of this operation for UC SysDev. Are you familiar with what we do? United Colonies System Defense. Does that help you figure out exactly what it is we do? Actually, that's something new we're trying. I figured we needed to branch out a bit, broaden our horizons. UC SysDev is a division of the UC Navy. While they handle the big picture stuff, we deal with a very particular problem. The Crimson Fleet. That convict is where you enter the picture. On the books, they maintain combat-ready spaceborne forces to deter aggression and ensure the safety of the United Colonies. What all that fancy claptrap means is that they're the ones who fight in the wars to keep our territories secure. Are we really playing this game? The pirates, like the ones you tangled with on Vectera? Please stop pretending you have no idea what I'm talking about. No, you don't. Not yet, anyway. We've been prodding at the Crimson Fleet for years, trying to take them down one ship at a time. But we barely scratched the surface. If we can get someone on the inside, we have a shot at finding a loose thread we can pull to bring it all down. If the military rolls in and attacks the Crimson Fleet, we'd have a full-scale war on our hands. That means losses, heavy losses, that the United Colonies can't afford. It doesn't matter how I feel. I'm simply doing what's best for the security of the United Colonies. Look, I'm going to make this simple. Agree to work for UC SysDev, and together we take down the Crimson Fleet. Refuse, and I tell these guys to throw you into the nearest lockup. Might even tack on an extra few hundred credits to your fine. Well, first of all, we'll forget about the infraction that landed you on the Vigilance. Wipe the slate clean. Better still, depending on how well you do your job, we'll even kick in a few extra credits to offset any cost that the operation will incur. Or, you can throw all that away and end up back in jail with a hefty fine attached. I'm not coercing you into doing anything. I'm simply giving you a chance to redeem yourself. So, what do you say? You going to work with me, or should I find someone else? you aren't leaving until I have an answer. If I didn't think you had a chance, I would have left you in lockup. You're just going to have to follow your instincts and trust me. Smart choice. I'm going to have one of my men escort you to the operations center. I strongly suggest that you don't give him any trouble. And don't bother trying to leave the ship. I think you'll find all access to the docking area is fully restricted.
All right, let's go. So, you took the op instead of serving the time. Gonna be the commander's new mole, huh?
See you.
Treating a bunch of pirates. Still, like the one about how the fleet is performance by lashing them to the hull of a ship, and then slowly letting the air out of their suit. Could you imagine a worse way to go? I know I couldn't. But I wouldn't worry about it. Since the commander handpicked you, I'm guessing you can hold your breath for a really long time, right?
Yes, what?
All right. This is as far as I go. Take the lift up to Ops. Commander Ikande should be waiting for you.
Excuse me.
Hey.
Yes?
Ah, there you are. Excellent. Now that we've established your level of cooperation with us, I want to introduce you to your new home. This is the Operations Center of the UC Vigilance. SysDef's nerve center, dedicated to the destruction of the Crimson Fleet. We are currently in the Solar System, in deep orbit around Phobos. As to why, I'll explain momentarily. Which is precisely why we're taking a more clandestine approach. We need eyes and ears inside the Crimson Fleet. Someone who can feed us information, evidence, and expose their weaknesses. The catch is that you can't just knock on their front door and ask for an application. Getting inside is going to take some finesse. Let's get one thing straight right now. While you're working for me, I'm going to treat you like one of my own. Whatever crimes you committed in the past no longer matter. You're now an agent of SysDev, meaning that it's my job to keep you alive. It certainly does. So listen up. Our intelligence has managed to find a possible opening into the Crimson Fleet through Saoirse Bowden, one of their contacts. She works for the Trade Authority in Sidonia, so you'll be using a container of Aurora we've loaded on your ship to get her attention. Aurora is a Class A controlled substance that's illegal to transport outside of Neon, a city on Volai. Get caught with this stuff aboard a ship, and you're looking at some serious fines. That's classified. Suffice to say that the smuggler who was previously hauling it will be spending the rest of their life in prison. That's right. So it'll be your job to convince this person that you're the real deal. Once you bluff your way into the Crimson Fleet, then the operation proceeds to evidence gathering. That's where my second-in-command, Lieutenant Gillian Toft, comes into the picture. She'll explain everything you need to know. Let's just say my superiors need proof that engaging the Crimson Fleet is a larger priority than they're willing to admit. If we shove enough concrete evidence under their noses, they'll have no choice but to allocate the resources that I've requested. At the same time, we can use the evidence to arrest members of the Crimson Fleet, weakening them enough to strike a fatal blow. If I didn't have confidence in your abilities, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Remember, this entire operation rests on your ability to infiltrate the Crimson Fleet and bring us the evidence we need to take them down. Then you better learn to swim, because you're diving right into the deep end on this one. I've studied your profile. I know you can do this. I'm not about to throw away someone's life on a whim or a prayer. Just use your best judgment, trust your instincts, and watch your back. Fine. Whatever gets the job done. Look, before you begin, I want to make something perfectly clear. As an undercover operative for UC SysDev, you'll be expected to follow our code of conduct and ethics. Allow yourself to stray too far off the path, and you stand a good chance of spiraling out of control. The Crimson Fleet doesn't follow the rules. They only abide by one thing: money. All of their morals and social graces fall by the wayside in pursuit of their greed. At first glance, this can appear quite enticing, so I'm warning you not to get lured into their trap. Think you can handle that? To put it simply, you can't go into every situation with guns blazing. Think before you act. Calculate what you're doing and pull the trigger only when it's absolutely necessary. At the end of the day, your primary goal is taking down the Crimson Fleet. That's the greater good. Well, you better learn quick. Otherwise, I'll start looking for someone to take your place. Anyway, it's time to hand you over to Lieutenant Toft. She'll brief you about the details of the evidence-gathering portion of the operation. Now, get out of here, and good luck. While you're running with the Crimson Fleet, you're undoubtedly going to be faced with some morally gray decisions. It's going to be difficult for you to weigh the consequences of pulling the trigger while maintaining your cover. Do what you have to do, but remember why you're out there in the first place. As long as you can distinguish between surviving and thriving, you'll do just fine. Look, I can see that you're struggling with this. So let me simplify this for you. If there's a route to your goal which doesn't involve killing innocent people, I'm urging you to follow that path. Use your instincts. I'm certain you'll do the right thing. For your own safety, nobody but myself and the crew of the Vigilance will be aware that you're working for the United Colonies. Basically, if you land in jail, you're going to have to deal with the fines. All we know is that she's been with the Trade Authority for years, which means she's been privy to some seriously shady deals. She's shrewd and she's diligent. The only reason we were able to connect her with the Crimson Fleet at all was thanks to an informant. I'm afraid she's the best lead we've got. That's easy to answer. You don't. We'll be monitoring your activities from the Vigilance and attempting to keep it within your vicinity. When you feel you've gathered enough evidence and at the completion of your assignments, head back here for a debrief. Beyond that, you're completely on your own. You have your orders.
All right, we don't have a lot of time, so I need you to listen up. While you're working undercover, it's imperative that you gather as much evidence as possible. If you find any records that look suspicious or incriminating, you bring it to me. Is that understood? Well, since it isn't every day we stumble across a criminal's fully written confession, we need to build a case against our suspects. The more evidence we acquire, the stronger our case becomes. And knowing the Crimson Fleet, they'll leave plenty of evidence for you to find. I'd scour every inch of wherever the Crimson Fleet sends you. Otherwise, you're wasting our time and risking your neck for nothing. Criminals are sloppy. Look hard enough and I'm certain you'll stumble across their mess. You better make it, because Commander Akande cashed in all his chips to get this operation off the ground. I want data slates, computer downloads, handwritten notes. Hell, I'll take anything if it'll get those bastards thrown into the brig. For the sake of the settled systems, I hope you're right. That minor skirmish you had with them on Vectera was nothing compared to the death and destruction those pirates leave behind. If you've seen what I've seen, you'd understand why I'm pushing you so hard. What? No. It's personal. It has nothing to do with you. Just stick to the mission and you'll be fine. I was hoping that you'd be inspired into thinking this is more than a punishment. It appears that I was wrong. I suppose we'll simply have to motivate you in a different way. Commander Akande has authorized a credit disbursement for each piece of evidence that you return, as compensation for your efforts. Well, that's just it. You're not career military, are you? And speaking frankly, you're completely out of pocket during this operation. You'll be paying for your own supplies and other unexpected incidentals. So, if I were you, I'd stop asking questions and accept the compensation. Commander Akande came up with the idea. He was concerned you might not help us simply because it was the right thing to do. All right, we've loaded a container of Aurora into your ship's cargo hold. We're also providing you with a sample you can use to tease the goods. We've cleared your ship for launch. Proceed to Sidonia. Make contact with Saoirse Bowden, and with any luck, she'll point you to the Crimson Fleet. That should do it. You're dismissed. Not really, no. I've learned to keep my personal experiences separate from the job. That's a fine point, but in my defense, I was under orders to make sure we weren't pulling some kind of psycho into the mix. And honestly, there are far bigger things at stake than my personal feelings towards the Crimson Fleet. Let's just stick to the job at hand and concentrate on the mission. But, maybe we can talk about it some other time, okay? Don't worry, the container's been registered with UC Security, so you shouldn't have any trouble. Even if you're scanned. Of course, if we find out you tried to sell it to someone outside the boundaries of this particular operation, well, I don't think I need to tell you the consequences of making that mistake. We'll be keeping them close at hand until this operation is complete. So, we'll be holding them in the Vigilance's brig. If you're feeling particularly ruthless, you could always head down there and say hello. I'm sure they'll be thrilled to see you. I'll be here if you have any more questions.
Pardon.
You've really pissed me off.
Your ship's
All
all
right.
so much better than
Out
Dad's?
with it.
Like,
What the hell is the matter with you? You can't be serious. You're going to stand there and pretend you don't know what I'm talking about? It's insulting! You want to play this foolish game? Fine. Members of Constellation are held to the highest regard, yet you persist on making poor decisions that reflect badly upon us. If you intend to continue this behavior, then maybe we shouldn't be traveling together. I'm not sure there's anything you can say at this... Well, I suppose I can understand that. Well, that definitely helps. Maybe you are... Look, I realize things out here can be rough, so I'm going to let this go. For now. Just try to be more careful in the future. Otherwise, you'll find yourself traveling alone.
Is
Right
there
now
a
may
way to
not be
go
the best
faster
time to
than the
talk
speed
to
of
me.
light? And none of that crap. Have tech cheating? Hey, Dad. Want to hear a joke?
Sure, sweet pea.
I don't know.
Everybody! Skyscrapers can't jump!
Okay. Good one, Cora. Hey, next time you see Barrett, try it out on him.
Grav drive spinning down.
This
Systems
is United Colonies space. Maintain current course while we scan for contraband. Scan com-
You asked me? The real New Atlantis is down. Yes, you did. You know how I know? The rain cloud over your head is all but gone. Here, for your hard work. With a Lady Locke back on my side, I expect the business to be less bust and more boom. And let us never speak of those accursed woods ever again.
Got a freighter coming soon. No time to talk.
Hopefully, not so close.
So, feel free to read. This is a haven for all that love letters.
For purchase? Yes.
Thank you for saving my husband. Yeah?
Hey, deputy.
Welcome to the Rock.
Landing sites clear.
Captain, it is pleasant to see you.
What do we got here? Too clean to be one of the settlers. Or a pirate. You see on patrol, maybe? It'd make my day if you said you were a shock trooper out for a stroll. Vanguard, huh? Yeah, I expect they didn't. I'm Hadrian. I was a researcher with the UC. I came here on a rumor of a... Well, I expect you saw the results on your way in. What's left of the settlers? The work of Oxysio Machina. A terramorph. One of the nastiest aliens humanity's ever crossed paths with. And this one, well, it's something of an anomaly. Possibly a worrying one. I managed to scope out a fair bit of the facility before it found me. If there are any survivors of the attack, they're long gone. Terramorphs have a unique growth cycle. They're usually only found on worlds that have been long colonized by humanity. But Tao said he's too young to have one. Yet here it is. I came looking for an explanation and found all this. Among apex predators, they're the pinnacle. Resilient, agile, smart, and their mental prowess only increases with age. Some can even dominate the minds of weaker species, keeping them as pets, livestock, or toys. They're creatures without peer. I sure could. Because to confirm my suspicions about this creature, I'm gonna need a tissue sample from it. And to get that, I need its corpse. But there is a way we can give ourselves an edge against this thing. The plant's security system. The admin terminal's here in this building, but it needs its connection reset. And as I found out, that's not a one-person job. But if you can make it to the security outpost and restore the connection, I think I can get things back online. See if the settlers left us any other tools. Admin access is centralized to the terminal in this room. Nothing's coming back online if I'm not here. But even if that weren't the case, I'd likely be more of a liability out there than a help right now. It's the building in the middle of the facility. The terminal in there should allow you to grant me access to the system as a whole. Then we can see about getting things back online. The settlers outfitted most of the buildings with turrets at some point. Not sure how many are still operable, but at least a few appeared to be in fighting shape. There were also some sensors scattered around the facility that I didn't recognize. But those are honestly all just educated guesses until we get the connection reset. Good. Once I see the connection reset, I'll get things underway on my end. Take care of yourself out there. And make sure you leave enough of that thing for us to get a sample.
Get whatever you need for the trip to Montero Loon. I'll talk to you later.
Traction restored. I'll make this quick. Plant's turrets took a beating, but I should be able to get you a couple of kill lanes. Just get the thing to chase you down the alleys between the buildings, and you'll lead it right into a crossfire. Hello. I wish I'd found this earlier. Those sensors around the facility? Part of a livestock tracking system. Should let you keep tabs on how close the terramorph is. But it's not connected to this network. There should be a terminal in the adjoining room. Tune it to 183.5. Tracker's reading green. What's that sound?
Lockdown is active.
Shit. Stop. Stop whatever you're doing and get in cover. It's on the move. Look, I wouldn't engage directly if you could avoid it. The kill lanes. They're set up but need power. There's breakers on each of the buildings you can throw to get them live. Once they're online, lead the terramorph towards the lights and watch the fireworks. Give it hell, Vanguard.
Additional power input required.
tracker's gone quiet. I suspect it's either hiding or...
Wait. You did it, didn't you? Heavens above! You just flatlined a terramorph!
I'm not too proud. Thank you for saving my ass. You didn't happen to grab me a tissue sample, did you? All right. I spotted a microscope downstairs. Let's see if we can't get to the bottom of this. You can do. Running basic diagnostics? Nothing. Maybe flag scan? Spectrograph. Damn. This equipment, it's not set up to do a proper analysis of our sample. But this terramorph being here, of all places, it doesn't make sense. Humanity's spread plenty of creatures in our travels across the stars. Pets, livestock, pests. But terramorphs? They're different. To our knowledge, no one's ever spread them intentionally. Yet somehow, they follow us. So when humans settle a world, 70 to 100 years later, terramorphs tend to just appear. No one knows how or why. Dangerous, but at least predictable. Talseti, though, it's too young to have a native population. It's only been colonized 20 years? But then the other option, that someone captured one of the deadliest predators in the galaxy just to wipe out some settlers minding their own business? That seems awfully implausible. Which means we're either looking at a truly strange murder or a faster type of terramorph growth, the results of which could be catastrophic. Terramorph outbreaks have taken down far bigger colonies than this one. Well, they're not exactly buying tickets and flying coach. The theory is that they're spread by some kind of egg or seed that's able to evade our detection. But how the hell an undetectable egg turns into a terramorph without anyone noticing is a question no one's ever found an answer to. And it's why what's happened here could be real bad news for the rest of human civilization. They have. They even took down an entire city once. A place called Londinium had to be quarantined due to a massive outbreak during the Colony War. It's the only known loss of that scale, but it's the reason why any change in our relationship with these creatures needs to be taken very seriously. You're right. We don't have enough information. Time was, I had access to one of the best repositories of terramorph research in the galaxy. Seems a natural place to start looking, if I can figure how to access it. But we also need to get this sample properly analyzed, get confirmation on just how concerned we should be. Luckily, I think I know just the person to help with the sample. What would you say to delivering this to him for me? I'd do it myself, but I need to call in some favors. See if I can't get access to that terramorph data. Plus, maybe just pop by a hospital for a little bit. Clear it with your commander first if you have to. You can even show them this. My gene tag. Tell them Hadrian Sanan is worried there could be more attacks on the horizon. They should recognize the name. I was, long time ago. Family tradition. But I know some of the folks from my old unit moved into the Vanguard. A couple even owe me favors. If I'm lucky, your commander is one of them. Oh, you don't understand what a weight off my shoulders that is. I need Dr. Percival Walker to put together a sample analysis for this thing. Full workup. He'll know what that means. I'm not sure exactly where to find him, but last I heard he was contracting with the Trade Authority on Mars. There's a place called the Sixth Circle in Sidonia. Bar run by some old friends. I'll meet you and Percival there. And here, it's not exactly a bounty, but you certainly deserve them. Should cover the cost of fuel to Mars, at least. Now please, go check in with your commander. We need to know what we're dealing with.
Olive branches are a sign of peace and compromise.
Look who's back. All set with that probationary mission? We can do your debrief and formally welcome you into the Vanguard whenever you're ready.
A terror? What? How did you walk away with the terramorph tissue sample running comms repairs? What happened to the settlers?
A gene tag? Let me see that. Sanan. I know that name. Let me check the database. Huh. A lot of this data's been classified. Here we go. Service record. Wow. That's a lot of commendations. Seems like she served with distinction as co-head of a UC Xenoweapons division. Faced tribunal at the end of the Colony War. And was dismissed from duty. Guess that's why I'd heard the name before. If she's former Xeno warfare, though, well, we can at least be sure she knows her aliens. Notation says that Sanan already faced punishment for her actions during the war. Dismissal from the UC military. And her sending you to me first makes me think she's actually trying to do this above board. Considering her history, Reaching out to the UC probably wasn't the easiest decision, which means that must be a pretty important sample. In the run-up to the Colony War, the UC started a program with a singular goal: find the deadliest, most terrifying aliens in the galaxy, and have them fight on the side of the UC. Never saw any of the deployments myself, but the program was clearly enough of a success that when the war came to an end 20 years ago, both sides agreed to have the practice banned, at which point, I presume, this tribunal decided to cut Sinan loose. I'm sure she doesn't list it at the top of her resume, but considering her service record and her area of expertise, I'm not seeing a reason to think this request is anything other than genuine. Did your survivor, Hadrian, did she mention why she thinks this sample's so special? She thinks there could be more of these? Well, this is one of the more surprising debriefs I've ever been a part of. But if Hadrian Sinan thinks this sample needs to get to Mars, then we're gonna make sure it gets to Mars. I'll take care of the clearances and ensure you get your credits. Consider these your first official orders. And here, so everyone knows you're working with the Vanguard. Welcome to the Navy, Captain. Vanguard's also got some custom ship modifications. You'll be cleared for access to them next time you're down at the spaceport. Talk to ship services. Now, if there wasn't anything else, I'd suggest you move out.
Solomon Coe would have liked me?
Sure. Everybody likes you, don't they?
Do you think he would have liked you?
Well, if you listen to your grandpa, Solomon Coe would have given me a good whooping.
I know we're supposed to clean up vandalism.
How's it going? Hey, welcome to the Sidonia Trade Authority. Yo! This dude came in once trying to sell this whack-looking fish or something. It was still alive. He had it in this big plastic bag full of water and everything. Good size, too. I was trying to tell him I didn't know if we took in things like that, but then my boss came over and told me we absolutely did. And I had to process the sale and store the thing. Man, what a pain in the ass that was. Even weirder, someone came in and bought it like right away. The hell's that about, right? Man, sorry, I can't really say that. Really, they told me not to say anything like that because rumors, you know? All I know is that we're running a business here, and I was told to take in all trades and sell whatever we've got. And listen, I'm not gonna worry about anything other than that. Come back anytime.
Invoices can be collected from the... Oh. Not here for a delivery, are you?
Do you now? Well, I do wish I could help you, Captain, but Dr. Walker has been missing for some time.
A shame, too. We had such high hopes for Percival. I brought him on myself to do medical and biological consulting around the city. Not the sort of work the Trade Authority traditionally does. But we thought it had the potential to become a whole new type of revenue stream for our branch. I invested no small amount of personal capital into the endeavor. But then he decided to run off after a discipline issue. I presume the miners have him hidden somewhere. Plenty of cracks on this old rock. But at this point, it's probably for the best. They were all devils. Red Devils. A UC Marine unit based here on Mars, though they were disbanded shortly after the Colony War. I presume a number of them served alongside Dr. Walker. Bonds forged in battle and all that. Dr. Walker decided to start brewing and selling his own pharmaceuticals to our customers below cost. Something his contract expressly forbade. As such, we requested our cut of the profits and began garnishing his salary. Perhaps a little too severely, but well within legal limits. It was around then that he ran off, abandoning his duty and his unpaid accounts. That's correct. We're no longer interested in Dr. Walker's services. He did leave his post, however, with a sizable debt to his name. If you were to find him and get him to pay, the Trade Authority would be most grateful for it. Why? Feeling charitable? I don't recall the exact figure off the top of my head, but with the interest it's accrued, I believe it's something substantial. So if you were able to find him and convince him to clear his accounts, you would have our honest gratitude.
Wonderful.
I suggest paying a visit to the Sixth Circle, what I suppose is technically a bar on the lowest level of the city. If anyone knows where Percival is, the miscreants there would. But I would urge caution. They're not a group known for their hospitality.
It is illegal to transport plant or animal life to Mars without going through official UC channels. Adherence to this law is imperative in order to...
Deluxe condos aren't anything special.
Broken Spear's upstairs. Go drown yourself there. This bar's for Devil's vets and their kin.
Doc Walker? You're barking up the wrong...
And you, why don't you come here and tell me what some stray wants with Walker? Not every day a stray topsider wanders into my bar claiming they know people. What do you want with Dr. Walker? That's so. Now, if that tag's a forgery, it's a damn good one. All right. Maybe she did send you. Or maybe you just know where to buy your fakes. But look, even if I decided I was going to help you get in contact with Dr. Walker, Percival made himself scarce for a reason. His debt to the Trade Authority. But if someone resolved that debt, well, Percival wouldn't have to hide anymore. Can bet that person would make a friend out of Percival, and the rest of us devils. And I'm always inclined to help a friend. Red Devils were the meanest Marine unit the UC Navy ever had. Couldn't get in if you hadn't done at least one stint as a Martian Dusty. Made us tough. Reliable. That's why they chose us as the handlers for the UC Xeno weapons. No other unit could handle that pressure. Percival, though, he wasn't a grunt like all of us. Science officer. Made sure the monsters behaved themselves around the Devils, and didn't with everyone else. But it was those monsters that did us in. When the Colony War ended and the armistice came down, everything associated with Xeno weapons got shelved, Red Devils included. Now they're just a memory. Me? Nah. Infantry officer. But my grunts deployed alongside the things. Never seen anything like it. Before or since. Monsters from the darkest corners of the Black, rampaging across the battlefield. And understand why they banned them. Brutal. Armistice hurt us more than most, but... wow. Wasn't all bad that came out of that agreement. Well... most straightforward way to take care of this debt would be to just saunter up to the Authority and pay him direct. If you've got credits to throw away. Of course, rumor is the Trade Authority keeps all their records and collections files on a central server inside their storeroom. If someone was to break in there and adjust Percival's debt to something a little more reasonable, say a few hundred credits, I'd be happy to cover the costs. But one friend of Hadrian's to another, Sidonia's full of old utility spaces. Wouldn't be surprised if there was one that let out right into the Authority storeroom. Say, with an entrance behind the bar at the Broken Spear. Ooh, and you might need these. And I look forward to hearing the good news.
Hey, you! Maybe Hadrian's friend. Come here.
Be advised to secure this article and find stable ground or remain seated in the event of unforeseen trouble.
Heard you talking with Lou, so you're going to help Dr. Walker? I mean, I've got my suspicions, but look, you're planning to help Percival, right? Yeah, sure. Listen, I know how you can do it without having to resort to any B&E. Aqueous hematite. Mars is full of it. People think it's just garbage, but Percival and I, we've been working on some projects in the deep mines. At least when he wasn't slaving away at his trade authority contract. But we stumbled on a way to make it useful and profitable. You give our research over to Octai at the trade authority, it should more than cover Percival's debt. That guy's always looking for an angle. No. Well, yes, but the medical kind. I'd help him make whatever the city was running low on that month, and we'd sell it to the miners for cheap. But the trade authority got wind and wanted their cut. And then some. It's mostly iron and about 3 centuries of human water runoff, though only Percival would be able to tell you all the trace elements and whatnot. But it builds up around human settlements, and something about the Martian soil changes it, makes it into something new. And we think we found a use for it. Oh, I'm Cambridge. I was Percival's assistant. Well, apprentice, really. Couldn't work in the mines anymore, so he gave me a job helping with some of his side projects. Knows experiments inside and out, and I know this one was gonna be big. Well, yeah. We were never able to finish the research. Spacers moved in and ran us out. Started setting up shop. But if you can clear them out, I can walk you through how to finish the research. Then you can give it over to the trade authority. They'll get folks working in the deep mines again. Jobs come back, I become a modern-day folk hero. Then I don't have to sleep on an inflated spacesuit anymore. Biggest employer on Mars has always been Deimos Star Yards. After the Colony War, armistice meant they needed a lot fewer warships. Fewer ships meant fewer minerals. That meant a lot of folks scrounging for work around here. A bunch of parasites and cutthroats. They're folks from the fringes of space, willing to put down anyone who tries to move in on what they've decided is theirs, even when it ain't. Strange this group would pick Mars as a new home. Sure, we're not downtown New Atlantis, but there are places where they'd be bothered less than here. My guess is the authority tipped them off when they heard we were working down there, and cut off what they thought was the competition, you know? Great. So access to the deep mines can be found outside the city. It's not far. Shouldn't even need to hop back in your ship. We'd set up right near the main drill. Taking out the spacer leader should get the message across to the rest of them to buzz off. Once you've managed that, phone up here on the comms panel, and I can walk you through finishing the research.
light was Watch it!